Hi. Good, how are you? Good.
Nice day for a walk.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's not too hot, not too cold.
Oh, it's right on.
For
Yeah,
those-
right on.
Nice.
You come down here quite a bit for walks?
Periodically, yeah. Sometimes I have a friend we like that we both live near each other nearby, so we wander around here.
It's good to have a walking buddy.
It really is, yeah. It keeps you motivated.
That's right, yeah. For sure.
Yeah. So how's it going for you guys
Yeah,
today?
good.
Yeah.
Doing well. Yeah, lots of people.
Yeah, it's that kind of day.
Yeah, for sure.
It's fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been a while. I came down a while ago. I have a original copy of the Finished Mystery.
Yeah,
So,
you were showing it to us.
Yeah, so I
good.
just thought it was kind of neat. Like, who else would appreciate
No
this
kidding, yeah.
really
History.
old book, you
Yeah.
know? So, yeah, it's kind of fun to show some of the pages. And,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
Well, that's our beginnings. That's how we started, you know.
Yeah.
Just kind of Bible information for people.
Well,
Kind of hard hitting back then, but
well, it was,
we softened
it
a
was
little bit.
interesting. yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, a lot of changes, definitely a lot of
that's
changes.
right.
So it was
We just had our
different.
3-day convention out at our assembly hall.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Good. Yeah,
Good.
we had 3 different ones because there were too many of us for one weekend.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So 3 different ones, and then it's so changed now. Like so many videos and demonstrations, and it's not just lectures anymore. Yeah. So it appeals to all different learning styles, which I appreciate.
So do they like film from one central place and then everybody watches on a screen kind of thing?
Well, they send the video to the location where the convention is. Yeah, so everyone gets the same video around the world.
Right.
They just may translate different languages. My brother just went to a convention in Greece. We have internationals this year as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're going to Phoenix next month for an international convention. So there'll be 17 countries will be going in.
Okay, interesting.
So
is that one also like televised to the rest of the people, or is that just like local?
Just local.
Okay.
Yeah. And they'll be streaming videos from other conventions.
Oh,
Maybe not live, but they'll be recorded and then played at the convention.
Okay.
But beforehand, not to sound flippant, but I thought 3 days on love, like how can you get 3 days worth of it? But you need 3 days more and 3 days more. Like when you start dissecting it, love just includes every other good quality too.
Yeah, for sure.
And then how to display it even when it's difficult or when people are difficult to get along with.
Well, that is really where love comes in, right? Yeah. It was easy when somebody's being nice and friendly.
That's right. Then but loving your enemies, like Jesus said, that's the hard part.
That really is, yeah.
Or like one point that you really liked is the fact that we're in a world where getting the scoop or getting the dirt on someone or an expose is the news. And yet love is all about covering over that stuff. And I thought that's such a nice point.
Yeah. And like when your sister or brother, sins against you, instead of making a big thing, just say, Christ forgave me, I will forgive them.
Exactly.
Well, we can't get forgiveness if we aren't like that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Jesus said that.
Yeah.
And even
that shows that
if
you're not forgiving if you're not
That's
forgiving
right.
others.
Yeah.
And even if you're driving and someone cuts you off and it's like, and then they get into an accident, they think, well, they got what they did. That's love getting provoked. Love doesn't get provoked.
Right.
So
you know what I found years ago? I used to, and the drivers there are super aggressive and scary stuff.
That's very scary.
I found driving home, it was like, my drive home was, if there was no traffic, would have been maximum 10 minutes. But with all that traffic was about an hour to an hour and a half for that little stretch. And it was because of all the insanity. And plus the big rigs trying to, cut you off and whatever. And I was getting so frustrated that I would get home, I would just be shaking and angry, So what I started doing is praying for the people who were cutting me off all around.
Good
and
idea.
I started saying, God bless you, and praying for them. And then it totally changed my commute home.
Good for you.
Then it was like, okay, I'm relaxed. I've prayed for some people.
Yes.
And I mean it. At first it was like, God bless you, and then after a while it was like, no, I really care about you. It has to, and it does. It transforms your own heart when you pray, right? So.
And then, because a lot don't know when you're holding a grudge against them or angry at them or
they don't care.
You're just damaging your own health, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it was not a good idea to live that way. I'm like, no, this can't continue.
Yeah, that's right.
Have you been on our website at all?
I have,
Yeah, because a lot of the videos that we get there are on the website.
Yeah, I have seen a few of them there. Yeah.
And for these conventions, once they're all done, then all
they'll
those videos
come out as well too.
Okay.
They don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't been yet.
I was wondering, actually. I'd heard, because, you know, I like chatting with, I probably mentioned you, I like talking with people online about different religions and stuff, and we all have chit chat on social media and stuff like that. And some people were mentioning that this past weekend you guys had a discussion about child sexual abuse. So, and
it's on our Watchtower.
Yeah, so I went into your website and found the
article.
The article, yeah. So I went through
There's
that.
actually 4 of them, 4 articles.
Yeah, I went through I think the last 2, and I hadn't seen the other 2 yet. But so I wanted to check them out. So it sounded really different from what I'm hearing on the news. Like, is there a big change happening in the organization that they're starting to really like report these things to the police now? And
well, it's just more information on how the elders can handle it when they come, you know, like maybe in the 50s and 60s, they didn't know how to handle that stuff.
Yeah.
You know? But now that there's more information on how to handle them, we handle the spiritual side of things when somebody is, you know, admits to what's happened, but yet they don't get shielded from the police at all.
Okay, yeah, because I know, like, there's just in the news, there's all these lawsuits, and like there's one for $66 million in Ontario right now, and it's against the organization for not for specifically the individuals who did the abuse, but for the organization for hiding the abusers and not sending them to the police. And then there was the Australian Royal Commission. I saw about that too. Over 1,000 people who were pedophiles in Kingdom Halls, not like just people walking in and out from wherever, who were protected, and the abused were actually kicked out and shunned for trying to report them. And so they
we don't know
found
how true those stories
well, that's
are.
all on the government website. You can actually see. Even I think one of your governing body guys was there testifying, and you can watch the video online. And so they found all that. So it seems like, you know, I know that abuse happens everywhere, but the problem was more to do with, like, specifically the 2-witness rule. And
well, it's in the Bible, so
it is, but the way that the Watchtower has been using it sounds like a bad abuse of it, so in such a way where the children are left, if there's not 2 people there to testify that child was abused, when there's never anybody to testify with the child, right? So, and then when you look at the other rule in the Old Testament about, like, the woman who was raped out in the field and nobody sees, and that woman is protected. It's not like, well, there was nobody else to see it, so therefore she has to shut up and the other guy goes free. No, he still has to pay for it.
Yeah, because even Sunday's discussion was, you know, just because there isn't that second witness doesn't mean that person is making up the story.
Right, exactly.
So you still have to believe.
You have to go to the police with it regardless and let them sort it out. Yeah.
So, and the laws of the land have changed too. So they're just going by whatever legally they could do, but now it's really opened up. So
well, now you have to report it.
Yes.
It's not a matter of, like, you can just let it be handled within the congregation. You have to actually go to the police, even if you don't know for sure that it happened. You have to let them know what's going on, and let them deal with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's what I was sort of surprised about, because it sounded like, other than it sort of was this weird transition into the 2-witness rule. It was like, oh, but by the way, you know, if you don't have 2 witnesses, then that's it. You know, we're not going to do anything. But then it went back to, but then we always go to the police and you know, it's sort of like
that's
this.
Because there's 2 separate things. There's the congregation side of things and then the legal side.
Sure.
So the legal side, they don't need 2 witnesses.
Right.
Yeah. But in the Bible, Jehovah God has said for someone to be convicted, 2 witnesses.
And even the article brought out that if, you know,
or admission,
the child has said this, you don't have to get that child to confront.
Right. And you shouldn't.
Because they've been through enough.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
just you know. Let them stay home and the adults deal with it, kind of thing. And I thought, oh, that's
well, and that's the thing, and it sounds like from all of the lawsuits that are happening all over the place. I mean, you know, against the Catholic Church too, but against, and even like the Southern Baptists had a thing come up where they had to change all their policies because they weren't handling it strongly enough, right? And then also, I mean, there's lots of kingdom halls that are being, you know, sued all over the States and Canada and Europe and whatnot, because those things are not being handled correctly. So I guess I'm hoping from what they said there that they're going to use the 2-witness rule correctly and protect the children, because it sounds like an awful lot of them haven't been, even up to recently. So that's really scary.
And each of those things are handled privately.
Individually,
so, I mean,
I know.
Can't
oh no, I'm not accusing you guys. I know that's nothing you specifically, but
you just hope that God's Spirit is making it handled.
And let's face it, Satan, the devil, is confined to this planet, and they're a perverted bunch, and they like those kind of things, so they influence people to do those kind of things.
And once one kid is abused, they often grow up to become the abuser too. So
well, and it ruins that kid's whole life.
Absolutely.
So ultimately, the biggest solution is Jehovah God is going to fix it with His kingdom. You know, He's already ruling. Just when Jehovah's deciding, when Armageddon comes, that'll be the cleanup of the earth and all the wickedness that we see today.
So I'm curious about Armageddon then, because I don't hear you guys talk about it too much. I know it's a big thing in your doctrine, but I don't hear witnesses talk to me too much about it.
Yeah.
So what does it look like? The things I've read and heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that when Armageddon happens, and it could be any day now, which I agree.
Something has to happen.
Well, yeah, and I mean, you know, we know from the scriptures that we don't know the day, so
Right.
it could be any day, so we should always be prepared.
Ready, yeah.
So what happens is then Jesus returns and destroys all the people except for the Jehovah's Witnesses, or